about what is a pandemic and what happens when you label something as a pandemic. So I need you to imagine a battlefield. On this side, we have all of humanity. And on this side, we have a disease-causing foreign invader, so a virus or a bacteria. And evolution has pitted us against each other as rivals, fighting for world domination. And it's the size of this fight that determines if we call it a pandemic or not. And so there's 3 levels in which to classify the battle, and each level comes with its own actions. So at the lowest level, we have a small number of people infected with the disease in a small geographic region, and we call that an endemic battle. And you're likely not even able to hear it on the news, because we expect cities, provinces, and states to be able to deal with this themselves. Now, if all of a sudden you have an increase in the number of people with the disease, or the battle starts spreading geographically, we'll upgrade to level 2, and we'll call it an epidemic. And while World Health Organization and other national or international organizations may provide a little bit of help, ultimately we expect countries to be able to deal with this themselves. And a good example of this is every winter in Canada, we fight the flu season, or what's also known as the influenza epidemic. Now, if that epidemic continues to spread, and it spreads across countries and regions, then we're going to give it level 3, and we're going to call it a pandemic. And this label is really important because internationally, we kind of have a collective, oh shit, moment. And we set off an international alarm that triggers a global collaborative response. And very specific things happen. So first, we have increased urgency. And that urgency means we have more research focus, media attention, and money. So we have more resources to fight the battle. Second, we have increased collaboration because we cut the usual red tape. And that means that we have shared knowledge, experience, expertise, technology, so we can solve problems faster and more efficiently. Third, we have increased collaboration. Because in conditions of increased urgency and more collaboration, we spark innovation and novel problem solving. And that allows us to advance our fight forward by solving the problems that are currently unanswerable. And last, we get rid of shame and blame that surrounds the issue. And this is such an important point because it means that people that are fighting this battle firsthand, who have the disease, are going to seek medical attention when they need it, and that we, as family members, communities, and societies, are going to support them, rather than turn away, reject them, and shame and blame them. And so, what I'm hoping from this conversation you see is that pandemics are widespread battles between humans and foreign invaders, and it sets off an international alarm, which leads to a global response. So, in 2016, the World Health Organization estimated that 1 in 11 people are infected with or are living with diabetes. That's almost 430 million people globally. And yet, despite its size, no international alarms went off, because this is the disease we get from living rather than from a foreign invader. And while I'm biased because this is my field, this is a battle we've been losing for 20 years. And worse off, every year we continue to lose ground. And so what we need to do is update this definition to reflect the reality we're living in and focus just on size. And if we did this, we would be able to take all the things that happen when you label something like a pandemic, like urgency, and apply it to diabetes, and it would revolutionize the field. And so, from our conversation today, I'm hoping that armed with your knowledge about what is a pandemic and what happens when we label something as a pandemic, that you'll join me in updating the definition. Because it's time that us as humans get on the winning side, and the very first step is to sound that international alarm. Thank you.